So in City Park, there's another little interesting place to visit. The historic train garden. And when I mean little, I'm not kidding around. Let's go check it out. This is the 5th largest outdoor train garden in the country. That's pretty cool. Walking through this thing, it's pretty impressive. I can't believe the size of this thing. It's incredible.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
You fixing up the little bridge there?
Yeah, just adjusting at the trestle work. I built this in 2010.
You built this?
And it was my design. The trestle work was donated.
Oh, cool.
But
okay.
and we didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So I went and found some scrap materials, some posts that used to be used as bollards.
Okay.
To stop cars from driving onto the recreational fields here. Yeah. And some scrap steel that was old drainage grate from the city's scrap pile.
Oh, wow.
And I drilled it, I cut it, I shaped it and everything. And I did this, I said, we needed, the trains used to do too tight of a turn coming out of the roundhouse and going around there.
Okay.
So this gave us a wider radius where we can drive bigger locomotives on it, and it represents the Illinois Central Trestle over the spillway. My boss at the time, from my civilian career, because I had a long military career, he said, they're building this train garden here. I said, you gotta be kidding me. And he gave me a phone number. I called up this guy. He said, well, I'm just starting volunteer too. I said, well, I want to volunteer and you won't regret it.
Yeah.
So now awesome. I'm like the de facto train master. He had to retire. He was getting. This is the Roundhouse Train shed and streetcar barn. Okay. The St. Charles streetcars go in these middle 2 tracks.
Okay.
Go in there. This was the director who's still in his office right there, Paul Soniat. In 2003, his little carrot top son was about 10 years old. And Paul saw an article in there in a magazine called Garden Railways. And he got 2 grants totaling about $60,000 to build this. It took 9 men, 9 months to build this. Wow. Because they had to put these posts, and beams and posts, cable, and they're all cabled and they're tied back. It has French drains in it. Oh, wow. It's got electrical wiring for not only the trains.
And when was this first all built?
They started building it in the summer of '03. Okay. It was partially open for Christmas of '03, but really officially didn't open until March of '04. I've been with it since January of that year. And the floodwaters from Katrina stopped about 6 inches below the track, so roughly about right here.
Wow.
And that being brackish water, you know, salt and fresh, if that had hit the tracks and the wiring, there'd be a garden here, but no model railroad. So, and just give me a moment. I got the keys, and then.
And what is this called? This
is the Roundhouse.
The Roundhouse, okay.
/ train shed, and look, streetcar barn.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let me pull this down here.
Yeah, man. All the...
And they run out, and they're on timers, the streetcars. And then you can film this. It's all publicly owned trains.
That is so cool.
Yeah, this was originally the original rail yard, but it wasn't connected. All this stuff, so I connected everything. This was a workbench, and we added it as an extra rail yard and actually cut another hole through there.
Oh, okay.
To make and we have like a fly bridge that connects to the main line.
Yeah.
See, unfortunately, like real New Orleans, our streetcars get old, and we have to sometimes rob parts off of them. Yeah. But we just got a man who's going to donate us 3 that have been unused in the box for years.
Wow.
Same, you know, and you can't buy these anymore in the New Orleans colors. You can buy them for some other cities. So now we got some that are donating. They're already configured for St. Charles Avenue. So,
very cool.
And we have 1,500 feet of track that, in this scale, equates to about equates to 1,500 feet of track in this 1/29th scale. Works out to about 10 miles of real track.
Wow.
So when you're cleaning it by hand, it feels like 10 miles of real track.
Yeah.
Or we can put one of our track cleaning locomotives on here, a German track cleaning locomotive. Get it off of here. And yes, actually, this is the locomotive part, and it goes forward, and then These are the track cleaning wheels that actually counter rotate and
Oh,
polish
wow.
the top of the rails.
That is so cool. I didn't even know something like that would even exist. That's really neat.
It's number 745. It was built in the early 1920s along with 19 other locomotives. It ran for 30 years on the Southern Pacific lines between Galveston, Houston, and New Orleans, hauling everything from cement to bananas to cotton or whatever, back and forth, and it was probably the first or second locomotive over the Huey P. Long Bridge when it was finished in 1935. And around 1950, they retired it. They put it out in Audubon Park, and I used to play on it as a kid because I grew up blocks away from Audubon Park. It sat there for 20 years, and we played on it rusting, and until then they restored it, and now it runs. It's over out near Oxner Foundation Hospital. You see how low the houses are compared to the railroad embankment? And the story is that the Queen of England, still alive, Queen Elizabeth, decided to come to North America to tour by train in 1984. After she visited Canada, she said that she would be willing to come visit the United States by train, but only if her locomotive was not one of those that were built in the United States of America, because we're rebels. So her train, this is the legend, her train is pulled by a Canadian copy of a New York Central locomotive called a Hudson. And it was officially known, her locomotive, as a Royal Canadian Hudson. They didn't just build it for her, they were already common up in Canada.
Yeah.
Well, I tell that to British couples all the time. Some get a little insulted, some love it. And I tell them, I'm just an American telling a story.
That's great. All right, Mac.
Okay, all right, I'll let you go.
All right, man, have a good one. This is really cool. This is like a mock-up of New Orleans. There's Lee Circle, which doesn't exist as of today that I'm recording this. Very cool, very cool. I want to thank Mac McGinnis for showing me around this place and telling me the history behind it, giving me a little tour. Good guy. If you ever see him out here, make sure you tell him hello. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Check out some of my other videos while you're at it. See y'all next time.